All right, it's like past midnight, so we're gonna try and keep this quick. I am going to try and make you a quick tutorial for making the straps that can go through a mask. So I will show you how to cut them, how to sew them, and how to position your hands to do it quickly. And in this video, because we're trying to do this quickly and because I'm a lazy and terrible seamstress, there will be no ironing, and we're just gonna do it as fast as possible. So let's get going. All right, here is our fabric. I like to make straps that are about a 1/4 inch in total when they're finished. And I found that this works with the masks that I've worn and tested. So what we are going to do without ironing the fabric, we're just gonna try and kind of smooth it. And here I am going to lay down my ruler and measure 1 inch and cut it with my rotary cutter. And I'm gonna do that a bunch of times. Alternatively, if you don't have a rotary cutter, use a fabric scissor or a heavy duty scissor like a kitchen scissor that's nice and thick. Double up your fabric until it's nice and layered to save time. This is my piece of fabric, just fold it a few times. And again, we're not worrying too much about precision because all we need is a secure seam that will hold things in place and make a narrow strip of fabric. So I'm gonna, again, cut at about 1 inch, just trying to be sort of consistent. And I'm gonna make a strip this way and open it like this. And there's my 1 inch strip. All right, we've got our strips. We're gonna sew them together to avoid using fabric wastage, using a technique that I think is called a mitered corner. I don't really remember, but it's from quilting, and we're gonna go with it. First thing you're going to do is find the right side of one of the fabric and put the wrong side of one of your strips on top of it. That way our seam will be on the wrong side. Now we're gonna sew right here where my finger is holding a diagonal across the piece. So we're gonna sew from this corner across to the other corner of the square that's formed by these two pieces overlapping. So, and once we do that, we'll be able to open it like this. I will show you that more closely. Like this, and then we'll trim the excess. There we have it. All right, we've got our giant long strip. Now I'm going to show you how to hold your hands to fold this into basically a piece of bias tape without ironing it. Forewarning, this is going to be annoying. You are going to have to adjust and just pause and readjust your hands every so often, but it's quicker than ironing everything, so we're going with it. So the first thing you're going to do is fold it like you would a regular piece of bias tape. So fold the two edges in to meet in the middle and flatten that all the way down like this. So you've got a little starting bit, and then fold it in half, you know, like bias tape would. And then we're gonna get that on the machine and sew the start of it. That first stitch is only to hold everything in place. The one thing I will say is, since we were sloppy everywhere else, this is the one spot where it's important to be picky. You don't want your sewing to go off the edge of your bias tape or your little strap that you're making, because we don't want these to unfold on whoever is going to be using them. So make sure everything is stitched down securely. Now this is how I'm going to hold my hands to fold everything. First, I'm going to press a measure down like I showed you before, and then I'm going to stick my thumb of my right hand. I'm right-handed, so if you're left-handed, this might be a little different for you. And use that and hold my fingers tightly at the end of my hand to sort of channel the fabric into this thumb. And the thumb is going to press it forward, so there's a bit of an indent, so it's natural for the fabric to fold if I have my pointer finger of my other hand here folding it down. So we're gonna go and sew like this for a little bit. And see, I'm adjusting my hands because the fabric got a little feisty on me. And we refold and we keep going. All right, goodness, that took forever, but we have all of our strapping. I will show you it up close. It doesn't have to be perfect, like I said, and we've sewn it closed. The place where it would open right here is now fastened by the seam. And finally, I will show you how it looks in one of the masks. So this is one of the finished masks that I've made before. It's the one following the pattern on the Deaconess site that came recommended by the CDC or something, to my understanding. It's official. And so I would pin these together so they were a little shorter like this while sewing them in, so I could just sort of stick them inside the work when I was sewing right sides together. And I would recommend at least a foot, maybe closer to 18 inches, 14 inches per little strap here, because you're gonna lose a little bit of seam allowance, and we don't know the size of the person's head that this is going to be going on and if they're gonna have other protective equipment. And finally, I tied a little regular knot at the end so there wouldn't be any danger of this unraveling or the raw edge, the sewing on the raw edge starting to come undone. So there you have it. This can fasten by tying these two together and putting it around your ears, or you can tie it behind your head using the top and the bottom straps together. All right, there we have it. Thank you for your good work. Keep sewing. That's what I'm gonna do, and then I will finally go to bed. Good night.